Listen, I was on a nuclear submarine, and there's not a lot of things that stop.
Whoa.
What?
You were on a nuclear submarine?
Yeah.
Why have we been talking about comics this whole time? Holy shit. Did you fuck dudes?
No, but I can't say that was not happening.
I would have totally fucked dudes. That's the one place you can fuck dudes and it's not gay. That in prison.
Right, it's at the bottom of the ocean. It's not gay at all.
Yeah, man, I was a sonar technician and
under the sea.
I was a sonar technician and I guess you would call it a special forces support.
Right.
Technician? I don't know. He's still technician.
I guess
on
I
most
could have
things.
mentioned that before we started this, but I don't know. He never seems too super. Like it seems pretty blasé when I hear you talk about what you did in the Navy too.
Well, I mean, a lot of it you can't talk. A lot of it I can't talk about.
This is non-canon though. It's a bonus episode.
Yeah, but it's also out there, and I technically have top secret security clearance. So I don't know.
Whatever. He worked at Kinko's.
That's why you know about Spider-Man's jizz.
That's actually where I learned it on the submarine. That's where I learned it. I downloaded a whole bunch of comic books and I was reading it while I was on a sub. Yeah.
What kind of internet do you have on the sub?
None. That's why I downloaded it before I quit.
Oh, I thought you said you downloaded it on the sub.
No.
Jellyfish.
Tomorrow.
Okay. All day though.
Jellyfish.
I mean, Friendsgiving. Not all day. Jellyfish. See, I told you. I didn't even have to problem. I told him about that before we left the house. I was like, I might be a jellyfish tomorrow. And he was like, what are you talking about?
I'm not even drinking tomorrow.
Or you're just going straight jelly?
Yeah. If Chace just wants to go fucking nuts on some CBD, then yeah. That's what I'm doing. I'm not even going to drink.
Well, what do you want to know about submarine stuff?
Mainly the butt stuff that dudes do.
Mainly the butt stuff.
There's not a lot of that. There is some.
Nuclear submarine, so it's got a reactor on board.
It does have a nuclear reactor on board, yes.
That doesn't... So is your jizz radioactive?
No. We actually
By the way, if a condom wouldn't work because the jizz is that potent, then just standing next to him would give you cancer. He's just a cancer
I would think
dude.
so. I would think so.
Yeah, he's the worst superhero ever because he definitely kills more
With
than
that
saves.
logic, though, I mean, anytime that the Hulk ever goes anywhere, he's just like a walking nuclear bomb because he has gamma rays.
He is not radioactive. He was created that way by radioactivity.
But he green.
But he green.
He green.
Yeah,
he green. Everyone knows in 1950s radiation was green.
That way,
if he green,
he's not radioactive.
No, he's green though.
No, dude. Yeah, he's green. Yes, he's green.
So he's radioactive.
I assume.
I mean, you could throw the same thing with Godzilla too.
Oh,
he's not radioactive either.
What? Yes, he is.
His breath and shit.
No, he radiates radioactivity.
He is radiation.
That's part of the way they track him.
He's a huge metaphor for the nuclear bombs that drop.
You stay off on. You stay over there in the kiddie pool on this one, bitch.
Yeah, me and Chase got this on lockdown. Promise.
We're gonna talk about Godzilla.
The robot dude.
Which one?
Holy shit, man!
Are you talking about
Steve Porter? This is Steve Porter.
Are we talking about?
I can't swim. I'm getting out.
Are we talking about Mechagodzilla? Are we talking about Jet Jaguar? Are we talking about Mogra?
Oh God, Jet Jaguar!
I've already fucked off. I don't want anything to do with this.
Dude,
Holy shit!
Oh my God!
But nuclear submarine. All right, so there's a reactor on.
I thought we were gonna start talking about.
I was really excited.
We'll get there real quick. I just a few quick things. Did you get like crazy claustrophobic? Was that insane? Was there any like training you had to go through to like overcome that?
Maybe we should do a whole episode about that later instead of.
I mean, we could probably
diving into this at the very end.
We're at the 2 hour mark.
Dude, just fuck it. Just let it go.
There's not.
Okay. Do a part 1 and a part 2. Fuck.
Yeah, sure.
I'll do the whole thing.
Or don't do any of it, man. I'm just talking.
I just thought you might want to like have a whole episode about that type of stuff and not put it at the end of all the comic book shit when people are going to probably turn this off.
I'm not like in this moment. I'm not casting any pods. I'm just fucking
having a good time.
I'm just submarines and drinking.
I mean, if this is a bonus episode, you can always snip it into like multiple bonus episodes. Hell,
I'm not doing that much work.
BT Dubs. It feels really good to be at a point in my life where I'm drinking single barrel whiskey, talking submarines.
It's nice, huh?
But it feels good. Like this is dad as it gets. I love it.
So, alright, so claustrophobia. I've never been really claustrophobic. Before before you are accepted into the submarine program, you have to go through a bunch of like different trials and tests and physicals and stuff like that to make sure that you're not going to lose your mind whenever you go on one.
Mentally sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like when you join the military, you have to go through those things anyways. But then there's like for certain jobs, there's extra stuff you have to go through.
Okay.
Because of the job you're going into.
What was your job?
I was a sonar technician and a special forces support operative technician, whatever. There's some other thing on the end of that.
Fuck, that is so blasé.
It's super blasé, but I mean everything's blasé. I mean they call cooks culinary specialists.
Yeah, that's dope. I like that.
But
so did
I
you
was
have to
never
go through, like, the
claustrophobic.
extra shit, or
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I had to go through it because I was on the sub, but I was never a claustrophobic person to begin with.
right?
It was really strange, like the first time I got on board and we
Right.
actually like went underway and everything, because I knew we were going to go down into the ocean. Like boats aren't supposed to do that.
Right.
So
Right.
when we first went down, I was really nervous because as you're going down, like we normally operate around anywhere from like 400 to like
You
900
can like
foot.
feel that shit too. Right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's kind of like, you ever been in a plane?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you know, like your ears pop when you go in a plane and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like there's a
But I mean, like that level of like pressure, like your stomach.
well, the
does
inside
weird shit stuff.
the inside of the sub is pressurized, right? So whenever you're down at depth, you can't really tell that you're there.
What
It's
is
kind of
depth?
like being like 900 foot,
Christ.
somewhere around there.
Fucking Christ. Like so if you popped out at 900 foot.
Oh, you die.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah. I think it's for every 100 foot, it's like 40 pounds per square inch of pressure
Jesus Christ.
or something like that.
So like just clunk.
Yeah. So like we would take.
You would just like the styrofoam cups, like just.
Well, we did that. Yeah. So like we had torpedo tubes, right?
Right.
Whenever you go do a torpedo tube and all that, you throw in a torpedo, you have to equalize it to the sea pressure outside the sub.
Right.
So you would take like a styrofoam cup, put it in a torpedo tube, equalize it, and then drain it, and then bring the styrofoam cup back out. And the styrofoam cup would go from normal size to like maybe 2 inches
Right.
tall, like just a little tiny shot glass. But my first time down, one of my buddies was like, "Watch this," and he put like a string like, across the doorway, like tight.
Right.
And as we started going down, you can see the string start getting slack in it because the sub's getting smaller.
Holy shit.
And so, like, he would have, like, a good, like, foot of droop in the swing, in the string.
Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah, it's super weird. Like, whenever you have, like, a visual representation of that, it's super weird. But what was the most weird was the sounds. Because you'd go down, like, in, like, Hollywood, you hear, like, the creaking and stuff like that. Like, all that's real. Like, you hear that. And so you're just sitting there standing while you're going down, and you're just listening to that, and you're like, I'm about to die. Holy shit. When it's your first time. And so that freaked me out, but like,
Fuck, man, that's creeping me out right now. Like, I'm just listening to this.
I was
It's creeping me the fuck
I was never claustrophobic, so like that never really played a role in it. But
just knowing that you're that deep.
yeah, that was weird at first, but then like 2 days into it, and I mean, it's kind of like, you ever been on like an RV when it's going down the highway and you're just kind of like standing up in the back of it or something?
An RV. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like you know, you're just standing up like in an RV, like while it's going down the highway.
Yeah.
It feels like that, like the entire time. And you kind of forget that you are that far down. But I've seen people who are claustrophobic, like pass the test and everything, but still get in there and then freak the hell out whenever they first start going down.
Yeah?
It's not good.
Like, what do they do?
They just, I mean, it's very different from person to person. Like, I've seen people like sit there and like bawl down and just start crying. People like get like super amped up and like you're seeing them like trying to just keep it out of their mind, but they can't, and like just kind of losing their mind while they're doing it. It gets a little weird.
Jesus, man.
But the whole time you were just like, I don't care.
I super don't care about a lot of things, and I think that probably was to my advantage whenever I was on the sub, because there was a lot of shittiness being underneath the water for like 2 months.
Somewhat dead inside probably helped you weather that storm.
Well, yeah, a little bit, but like, I mean, you don't exist whenever you're down. Like, you do your job, you go to sleep, you wake up, you do your job.
Right.
You don't exist. Like, you're doing
This fucking thing right here. This cat.
You're just doing your part to not die.
Right.
Everyone's just doing their part to keep the sub going and not imploding on itself. And it's I don't know, it's really weird.
Holy fuck, man! I couldn't handle that.
I
would be one of those people that just freak the fuck out.
I'm glad that I chickened out of going to the Navy. Because I started to once, and then I chickened out.
Well, I had no intention of going on a submarine.
You might have been on a boat though.
I'm on a boat?
Yeah, be on a boat. Not a submarine. Like on a boat. Like an honest boat.
That's what they call boats.
We on a boat?
All the other ones are ships.
Yeah. It's not a gun, it's a weapon.
It's a boat.
Pretty much, yeah. I don't know, it was wild. I saw a lot of things that I'm thankful that I saw. Went through a lot of things that I wish I would have never went through. I could tell this, I guess. There's this thing called a jam dive.
What's a jam dive?
So a submarine has like big planes on the outside of them that are like wings, like on an airplane.
Right.
A jam dive is whenever those things lock because they're just hydraulics. Whenever the hydraulics lock in a downward position, so you just start going down and you can't stop it.
Oh shit! And this happens.
Yeah, it happens very rarely, but on my first boat, it happened.
Holy fuck!
And so I was sitting there at the sonar in the sonar shack doing my thing, and we were going to come up from 600 feet to periscope depth, which was 60 feet. So we started going up. So when you're going up or down, like, you lean and everything, so you can feel it going up. And on my sonar screen, I have a depth meter that I can see what depth we're at. And so we start going up, so I'm leaning one way, and there's never a change in elevation on a submarine without it being told over the 1MC, which is like the intercom.
Right.
We're starting going up, and all of a sudden we start going down. And I'm like, no one called for that to happen. Like, what's happening? And no one really knew what was happening because it happened so rarely.
Right.
And so we made it up to like 120 feet, and then we started going back down. And everyone was just kind of freaking out, like, but in like the most calm way possible. They're like, "What's happening? Why are we going down?" The officer at deck's like, "What's happening? Give a status report." Blah blah blah. And at like 300 feet, they were like, "We're in a jam dive." And everyone was like, "Oh, how do we fix this?" And everyone was like, "I don't really know."
Fuck.
Well, there's this thing called test depth, which is 1,000 foot.
Right.
So whenever we take a submarine, we go out and we test it. We go down to 1,000 foot. You're not allowed to go any further than 1,000 foot. Like if you breach the 1,000 foot mark, then Washington has to know about it and everything like that. Like it's a big deal because nobody knows at what depth a submarine implodes at.
Right.
Because if you ever got there, you'd
die. Yeah.
Yeah. No one ever.
So they just find them on the ocean floor.
Yeah, pretty much. I think the last one that it happened to was a USS Thresher, and I don't think that anyone knows what depth that happened at. But so we start going down. If you go past 1,000 foot, people are worried. So we start going down, and like everything's real quiet. Everyone's like it was the most quiet it had ever been. Like the submarine's pretty quiet to begin with, but everybody on board was just super silent because no one knew what to do. And we started going down, and I just was sitting there watching the depth meter keep ticking down. And at like 700 feet, people started bringing out their like last cigarettes because you're not allowed to smoke on board when you're underway. But people always keep one cigarette on them or one cigar on them or something like that. For like their last cigarette before they die. And people started bringing them out and stuff, right? And some people have like
they were lighting them.
not at that time, but we kept going down, and then we hit like 850, and when 850 hit, like everybody started lighting them up.
Damn
it,
people
man! Praying. There's people crying. There was people it was 150 people on a 300 foot long tube, just sitting there
just going down.
Yeah, just coming to terms with the fact that they're about to die. And it was the most surreal thing ever. And like I was just sitting there the entire time, like not knowing what to do. Like going like, do I cry? Do I go and like write something in case somebody like goes and like looks at the wreckage and finds something, like I don't know what to do.
You start jacking it.
I mean, I'm sure there were some people that were in the racks just fucking jacking, bro. But we got to like 986, and then all of a sudden, I'm talking about like people on board was like grown ass men just crying their eyes out, like coming to terms with their death, and it was, I don't know, that was real. And finally, like I'm here obviously, so we had fixed it at like 986 or something like that.
You damn ghost.
And
God damn,
Where's your wife at? She'd love me.
I got a death boner.
It was incredibly weird. Like that was the first time that I saw so many people like come to terms with like mortality.
That's fucking madness.
That's crazy.
And the crazy thing is that a lot of people like I probably fought like 5 or 6 fires while I was on board.
So hang on, the people that like initially get on and they find out they're claustrophobic, freak out and shit like that.
Yeah.
Do they stay on?
Some of them do, some of them don't.
All right. So the people that stayed on, what do they do whenever that shit happens?
Oh, whenever like the jam dive happened,
They just completely come unglued.
actually, those people probably handled it the best because they had no idea what was going on. They weren't around long enough to know that, you know, it wasn't called for. Because in like a casualty situation on a submarine, everybody has a position they're going to go to. So like whenever we would have a fire, right, on board,
right,
everybody had a position where they knew they had to go to. The entire boat was moving. Everybody had a job, and it was all done like clockwork because we practiced it so much. A jam dive is when we don't practice, so a lot of them probably didn't even know what the hell was going on. It was all the people who had been on there for a year or more.
Holy fuck!
That were sitting there going. But the moment that I saw people like lighting up cigarettes and stuff, I was like, oh, these are people who have been in for like 15, 20 years.
Oh, this
We're
shit's
about
real.
to die.
Yeah, like this is where it ends.
Fuck. Fuck.
But you just see people just sitting there just coming to terms with the fact that
You're just fucking smiling about it. Jesus Christ.
There's nothing you can fucking
And
do.
then you went and got back on this fucking thing.
oh yeah, we was in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. We were nowhere near land. I mean, thousands of miles from land. Like the rest of that day was just business as usual.
Sub.
Yeah, just business as usual.
900 feet under the water.
Yeah,
Just traveling.
yeah, just going like
Doing
23
what?
miles an hour.
What the fuck y'all doing out there?
Fighting the ocean.
Fighting the ocean.
Yeah.
We have. You heard it here, folks.
So whenever I
the
say
U.S. military has war on water.
So whenever I say fighting the ocean, that's specifically to the submarine community because of the fact that since we are 900 foot down, that every single second of every single day, the boat wants to go down. The ocean wants to come in.
You gotta fight it out.
And you just gotta make sure that everything is working as well as it
you're not
possibly
supposed to
can.
goddamn be there in a metal fucking.
Oh, 100%!
You're not supposed to
100%!
fucking be down there in a pop.
100%! People are
Just
not supposed
fucking 900 feet.
We are
just
supposed to be
fucking
there
hanging
as
the fuck out.
much as we're supposed to be in
A bunch
space.
of firepower and a nuclear goddamn reactor.
Well, it's
You're not
just
supposed to. This is against God's plan.
It's just like people in the International Space Station. Like, what do you think they're doing every day? They're fighting.
They're fighting God.
They're fighting to keep it up in the
No, they're chilling.
They ain't chilling.
They're floating, eating toothpaste,
making sure that everything's working, making sure that their systems are operating, making sure that.
and they up there eating that toothpaste food.
But whenever we're in the ocean, we're sitting there going like, all right, there's a little bit of seawater coming in. Why is that coming in? We need to stop that. It doesn't need to come in.
So you think up in the space station there's constantly air getting out?
Oh, I'm sure they have leaks places. 100%.
They don't just spackle that shit?
I'm sure they do something kind of like that, but I'm sure it's probably a little more nuanced.
Man, that's dumb. We're a dumb species. We do dumb shit.
At the same time, there's a lot of things that haven't happened because we were there.
Like what?
See, that's where we
Like
get.
what?
That's where I get into things that I can't really talk about because there's emissions and stuff like that.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I was thinking more. For some reason, I had this idea of like, when there was only one set of footsteps, Jesus was carrying you.
no. It's more like It's more like, okay, so like 9/11 happened because of a reason, right?
I thought you were going to say it happened because of submarines.
No. Like
that was
like,
no plane.
Like terrorist attacks around the world happen. Terrorist attacks happen around the world because of a reason, right? So there's a lot of terrorist attacks that don't happen because
of you.
Things get taken care of before they get to a certain point.
So there's ocean terror.
Not with subs, though.
There's ocean terror that we don't know about.
Ocean terrors?
Yeah, ocean terror.
Oh, no. Submarines.
Who do you think's been keeping?
Are you saying
do a lot of things.
Is actively attacking America?
No, not yet. Because there's submarines out there.
Oh, you're right back.
Firing off their underwater laser pistols.
Why did we spend 2 hours talking about comic books and taking fibrous shits?
Just clip all that out. We'll just start here. This is way better.
Holy fuck.
How'd you keep this a secret from me?
Because
how do I not know this dude's been on a fucking... How do you bring a fucking guest onto this show and not tell me he's been on a fucking
normally he doesn't
sub?
care too much to talk all that much about the Navy.
You think... But still, that's a big thing. You think you might bring that shit up.
At the same time, whenever we hang out, we just talk about everyday shit like we were talking about. I just know, like, yeah, he was on a submarine, whatever. He didn't see... He's like, I was on a submarine and I didn't like it that much, so I usually didn't bring it up.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Fair fucks. Alright. Oh, man. Jellyfish tomorrow. Drink some water. Drink some water.
God, that stuff's got some bite.
Yeah, it does. It's that single malt, man. It's got a little, just some ball sack.
I don't know anything about those industry terms.
I don't either, but it says single malt on the bottle, so I assume that's why. It is not smooth.
No, it's not.
What, this?
Yeah.
It gets way more smooth after a couple of drinks.
That's just because you're getting hammered.
Not really.
Yeah, really. You're getting hammered. You're in the act of hammering.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose so.
Said you're 6. I'm like 7 now. Fucking good. I'm good 7 in.
Well, if you're gonna have if you're
right.
7 in, you might as well strive for 8.
So outside of almost dying and fucking other dudes, what'd you do on the sub?
You shitting.
What'd you do for? What was a good time?
What was a good time?
Shitting in the.
Oh man.
The torpedo.
Well, first of all,
Did anybody ever put poops in when they depressured the they put the styrofoam cups in and it would shrink to the size of a shot glass?
Yeah.
Did anybody ever put a poop in there to see what happened?
No, but
turns into like a really dense goat shit.
But there was one guy on board who would waffle stomp shits all the time. Do y'all know what waffle stomping is?
Yeah, like you shit in the shower.
Yeah, you sit in the shower and you try to
drain.
You try to stomp it down the fucking drain.
What the fuck? Who does that?
A guy who was not well liked on a submarine.
Oh, that's disgusting.
If there's one thing that will get you hated on a submarine more than anything,
that'll get you hated anywhere. That's not like on a submarine.
No.
Anywhere in
It's
motherfucker. Just a word to the wise out there. If you find your barefoot touching your own shit to get it somewhere, you're fucking up. You're a fucking asshole.
You probably drink eggnog.
Yeah, yes. Man, this is going to be a really full ghetto by the time we're done with all this.
All right. So, my first submarine I was on was about 300 foot long, right? Give or take a few feet.
Okay.
Now, put 150 people on there. Do you think you can fit 150 people comfortably within 300 feet and then live that way for 7 months at a time?
Right.
Well, you did.
I did, but it's not awesome. It's not awesome. Now,
it's unnatural.
Now put some stinky fucks in there.
Some waffle stomping.
Some waffle
footed asshole.
Now, guess who's going to be hated the most?
You.
Waffle foot,
100%. I mean, it's just.
I already hate this guy. We're almost dying in like ocean jams, and you're a fucking waffle stomping shit,
dude. It irritates me so much because I spent 6 years of my fucking life on a submarine learning skills that are
useless,
100% useless. Like, I could sit there and listen to a boat go through the water and just listen to the propellers and the engine on it and tell you exactly what kind of boat it is, how fast it's going, which direction it's going.
Right.
All that shit. Like, how many people are on the fucker?
Right.
But
you can't practice law.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's not a very pliable skill.
You can't go manage a warehouse.
It's so stupid.
That's fucking bullshit too, because like you almost goddamn died.
I do manage a warehouse.
Oh yeah, it's like that.
Well, I mean, like you don't come out the box like.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, there's no overlap of skills.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, so like the most fun time on board was whenever like a casualty happened.
Right.
Like if I was asleep and all of a sudden I heard the fire alarm go off, I was like super excited about it.
Right.
Even though like,
wow,
because of his excitement, it was
something to do.
It was different than like just waking up, eating, going into your job. So my life for a long time was just wake up, eat, go sit in front of a computer screen for 12 hours, eat, go fix equipment, eat, go to bed.
That sucks.
That was it for like 7 months at a time. And so when a fire broke out, I was like, shit's happening. Let's go.
Let's break the monotony up.
So I would get dressed up in like a fucking firefighter's outfit.
Like sitting in the bunk, smoking cigarettes, playing cards.
No, I mean like so once I got qualified and became like, so when you first get on board, you're given like a huge stack of papers and you have to learn everybody's job on board. Because if something happened, like say like we had a steam rupture in the engine room, right? And all the nuclear people got killed during it. Everybody up forward would now have to run the nuclear side of it too. So we have to learn everybody's job. So I had to learn nuclear stuff. I had to learn auxiliary stuff, diesel stuff, fire control stuff, pneumatic stuff, like everything.
And then you got to come back here and manage a goddamn warehouse.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake. That's a fucking injustice, man.
I mean, it is what it is.
No, that's bullshit.
No, it is.
That is fucking
I was in a
way
with everything that I learned.
They should throw you a goddamn parade. There should be bucks lined up around the fucking street. Like this guy was in an ocean jam. And he knows how to do auxiliary and nuclear shit. Like, just have trim lined up around the fucking corner.
No, I get that because, like, at the same time, it's not quite the same as like people that were just in the shit or something and fighting like actual combat, and they have to come back and deal with like stuff like that.
I was about to say,
but at the same time, you're doing that really more complicated shit than what you wanted to. They want you to come back and go to work at like toss tires at Cooper Tire or some shit like that.
Yeah,
it would make no wonder people blow their fucking brains out.
Let's say you do
go
a
lot. I've lost a lot of friends that way.
Like you,
and I'm not trying to make light of that, but
no.
It like I kind of see what happens to people when they get back to civilian life, and like you go from like that, you have all these responsibilities, and you're trying to do all this shit, and then it's just go work it.
You don't have a purpose.
Yeah, go fucking work at Walmart, and now this fucking 45-year-old dude is gonna tell you what the fuck.
Yeah, you gotta deal with what's that guy's name?
He's gonna tell you how to fucking shelf chicken.
What's that guy's name on the fucking dark plate? The energy vampire guy. Like
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
That dude, fucking Quentin Jackson. I can't remember his fucking name.
But hey, with you speaking on that, in case this podcast blows up and people go back and listen like to the early episodes and everything like that, everyone know this.
You fucked all
it
those
is
guys
a huge it is a huge injustice that the worst thing about the military is that there's a huge suicide problem, like a huge one.
Yeah, I mean, I know that. I hear about it all the time.
It's terrible, and whenever it happens, it's overlooked by the upper brass of the military, and I don't know the best way to get that fixed, but just people understand that no one's really ever looking out for the people who are in the military by people who are running the military. And they have this thing, you do like 22 push-ups a day because like on average like 22 veterans a day commit suicide.
All that shit.
Right.
Yeah. Like that's honestly the best way I can think about bringing it to light. But just if you see a veteran or someone who's in the military and just be nice to them.
22 chance.
Yeah, just be nice to them. Like, I mean, it's given the benefit of doubt. They've been through a lot of shit, and they know better than anybody that most of the things that they've done in their life, people just don't care they did it. Just talk to them. You know, be wary about it.
Shit got heavy, man.
I've lost. I think
I'm not
12
saying that like it's a
friends.
bad thing. Like that's heavy.
Yeah.
It's a lot more. It's got a lot more substance than anything
It's-
we normally talk about.
Well, I mean, it's a really, but nonetheless, I mean, like it's worth talking about. I mean,
Yeah, totally.
That's a really
It's
sobering
good to have
fact.
someone here that can actually speak on shit like that.
Yeah, that's
Other than like I said, I've heard about suicide rates with the military for years,
It's high.
but I don't. I don't have anywhere to put that other than it's something I saw like in an article on the internet or on the TV or something.
I struggled with it whenever I first came out, and I'm way better off than like the skill sets that I learned. I'm way better off than like somebody who just went into the army and was just a grunt.
Right,
and just got shot at.
kicking them doors.
Yeah. They come back into the civilian world and they have nothing to look forward to except for depression, not knowing how to. A lot of these guys that go in are, 18 years old when they first enter. They don't have any kind of real world experience.
Yeah, they're gonna come in and get a fucking construction job or some shit.
Yeah, and they don't have any kind of direction in their life, and it's hard.
It's horseshit. They go out, they serve their country, they fucking get shot at, they kill people they don't necessarily want to kill. They see horrible shit. They see their friends get shot. They see their friends die. Not to mention just the goddamn training they go through is fucking awful enough. I mean, they go through all this
fun,
shit,
honestly.
and then they come back.
But I'm a little bit.
They
of a
come
masochist.
back and then their fucking wife has been cheating on them with some fucking
That's a huge problem.
some
Girls,
fucking piece of shit that's like
if you're with a military guy, don't cheat on him. Just let him go easily
some
for
guy
something.
that's like a fucking like
Good
oh
God.
he's a fucking welder on the pipeline. He makes that good money.
No, it's
You go
it's
out and you do all this shit and you come back and you're just like, okay, cool, here's the world.
That's exactly what it is. Like you go to the military.
There's
at
no
18 years
halfway
old,
house for
everything is
people that are
structured.
coming out of the military.
Yeah.
And I say this. I know this might sound demeaning, and I really don't mean it that way. There should be some sort of like halfway house, some sort of
I agree.
transitionary.
Yeah,
period
totally.
I agree. And
for people coming out of the military to readjust.
That's kind of what I'm talking about whenever I say like the upper brass really doesn't have what their best interest is in heart, because we have programs that are meant to do that, but
the upper brass is
so
career military.
They're politicians.
So,
at that
they don't
point.
give a fuck.
When you hit admiral or general, you're a politician. That's
Do
all
you
you
think
are.
that they also is there a lot of that if you have a problem with that you're like a pussy or something? Like you're not.
That's
tough
what I'm
enough?
saying.
I
Like-
think
like
that they
the
have.
career military,
I think
like
that
so.
people have that mindset. People who come out of the military have that mindset. But a lot of people who come out of the military don't understand is that. So a lot of people come in when they're 18.
Yeah.
They don't have any real experience. They don't have to pay taxes,
they're kids.
bills, or they're children. And then they go out. They do one tour or two tours. They get out, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, real world.
And now
here
they're
you are.
expected to be adults.
Yeah, and they have no training on it. They
And
don't know what to do.
Yeah, there's
They went
this
from-
arrested development that happens.
Yeah,
they're not allowed to mature because it's put on hold in lieu of like killing people, being trained how to kill people, being trained how to deal with your friends dying.
It's not
moving forward
It's not
with
even
it.
all that. It's not even all that. It's just the simple fact that when you're in the military, everything is regimented. Like, you don't have to think that hard when you're in the military. Like,
You just gotta follow.
you
orders.
know when meals are. You know what you have to do that day. You're told what to do every time. And then then you come out in the civilian world, and now you don't have that.
It's a fucking dice roll.
And people don't know, people don't know what to do. A lot of these kids that go in, like, I had the luxury of going in whenever I was much older, and I already knew what the world was.
Right.
So whenever I came out, it was just, it was hard for me whenever I came out.
But it's a matter of
already.
readjusting, not
Yeah, I just had to readjust. I didn't have to
shift your whole
completely.
world.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, and so it's a lot of these kids that are coming out. They don't have any direction. They're not programmed to sit there and make choices for themselves.
Right.
So they make bad choices,
Right.
or they make no choices, and then all of a sudden you have 22 a day.
Hmm.
It's it's shitty. It really is shitty. And we have programs to help people adjust to the civilian world, but they're so fucking dumb. Like, they are
Probably
so
underfunded
minuscule.
and everything, too.
I wouldn't even say underfunded. I would just, because there's so much fucking money that puts in the military. Like, even whenever, like, I know people say, like, oh, whenever Obama was in office, like, there wasn't a lot of funding for the military and stuff like that. There's still a shit ton of money. Like, trillions of dollars.
Stoneman moment. It's not 1 in 22. It's 22 a day.
22 a day.
Okay.
Yeah. It is indeed 22 a day. That's the average. Or so what I've heard.
Okay. Just to clarify.
Which is a lot. I mean, 22 times 365 is
An amount.
a large amount.
Yeah, 1 in 22 would be a lot. 22 a day is... That's reasonable.
It's reasonable.
Right? They're like, we can deal with those numbers.
That's reasonable.
They keep making kids. They'll come back.
They really do feel that way, though, about it. Is that, like, it's almost manageable like that. Like, you know, that's whatever. And they also feel about it like, you know, they're not in the military anymore, so it's not a problem.
I'm sure they look at that like, well,
yeah,
like it's
God bless.
it's just
that seems to be the attitude all the way over.
You know, they just weigh it out to like, you know,
It doesn't. The problem is that when an admiral or a general is going up for something, that 22 a day is not going to affect them moving up a rank.
Right.
It's just not. Because you can't pin those 22 on one person. So, it's... They just don't have to care about it. You just don't have to care about it.
That's why you shouldn't trust politicians.
I think we need to bring back the era of like war songs and shit like that. Like well, I mean, like you would have like these fucking warriors go out and they'd perform these great feats, and people would like sing songs about it and shit like that, and like they had a lot of fame. Like the warrior, that was what was famous.
You're talking about like the ticker tape parades and all.
Yeah,
that.
not like Ed Sheeran wasn't famous.
Are you talking about bards?
No, I'm like
I like how you brought it straight to D&D.
Well, I thought that's what he was talking about.
No,
like
sort of. No,
the Tales of Warriors
Yeah,
and shit like
Warhammer.
We have those.
The
We have
Warhammer
those.
universe has this term, remembrancer, and I like that better because what these people are is they're basically bards.
I love that you know Warhammer.
I fucking love Warhammer.
It's
bro.
so expensive.
Oh my god, you go to my bookshelf.
It's so...
No, I don't play the game. I've never played the game.
Oh, it's so expensive. Don't do it.
Remember, there's these dudes remembrancers. They're basically bards, and what they do is they follow great. They go and they find somebody like a great warrior, somebody that's going to go perform some great deeds, and they just follow them because they want to write songs about them.
right.
And that's sort of what there was
Bards.
a lot of fame and glory around being a great warrior. And I think that America needs to bring that shit back. We need to have great, glorious warriors of the red, white, and blue. Streow! That's an eagle noise.
That's a
Dave Chappelle noise.
That's his Dave Chappelle noise. That is also
That's Al Gore.
that's a trigger point ever since fucking Vietnam.
What, the warrior?
Yeah, because you look at like World War II,
Sergeant
World War One.
Nick
Like
Fury.
people were behind that. You know what I mean? Like World War One, World War II, all that. People were,
No, I
like,
get what you
America's
like.
behind
Vietnam
that.
came around and people were like, "That's not cool,
Yeah,
man."
you're baby murderers and blah blah blah, and that it's stuck around. It is stuck around.
But my man's Andrew pulled a submarine out of the ocean depths with his dick.
Listen, I did.
Listen to that metal creak.
I did nothing. There are so many more people in the military that deserve remembrance, or what would you call it?
Remembrancers.
Remembrancers.
Shit, dude. Remembrancers. Give me that whiskey.
There are so many more people in the
That a girl.
military that deserve bard songs
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
than me.
Fuck your wet ass pussy. Dude,
There's a guy.
every girl has wet ass pussy. Get over yourself.
There's a dude. His name is oh my god, I'm gonna fuck this up.
Nick Fury.
No, I think it's Campbell.
Bruce.
Can you Google Campbell's last name real quick?
Bruce
Who?
Campbell.
Bruce Campbell.
Campbell sounds like the last name.
It's the first ever Medal of Honor that was recorded on video.
Roy Campbell.
Is it Roy Campbell?
No, that's the dude from Metal Gear.
Oh, it is. Yeah, you're right.
What is it again? Yeah, say it again.
Campbell's Last Stand.
First, Campbell's Last Stand. It just said his last stand.
The Last Stand is a 20...
Campbell's Last Stand.
Let me see. They came up with a bunch of Bruce Campbell, I think.
I like Bruce Campbell. That's
all I get is like Campbell's Last Stand, and this is like a performer with Alzheimer's.
I wish I had my...
I like how you're trying to say this guy is deserving of fame, but you don't know who it is.
Yeah, right. I feel terrible.
That's what the goddamn problem is.
Anyways, there's a man who he type in Medal of Honor on video.
Medal of Honor?
Yeah. It's the first ever Medal of Honor that was recorded by drone footage.
Drone footage?
Yeah.
Medal of Honor?
Yes.
On drone footage.
Yes.
First Medal of Honor on drone footage. Iran drone footage.
Iran drone footage.
The first Medal of Honor ever recorded. Okay, this is like from June 26, 2019. Is it that soon?
Yes.
Well, are we just going to watch this video?
No. I just want to know his name. I can't remember his name right now.
John. This is John Chapman.
Chapman's last name.
We're looking for the wrong fucking thing.
I told you I want to fuck up his name.
Let's talk about Roy Campbell instead.
No, but
let's talk about Bruce Campbell though.
But I love Bruce Campbell.
Chapman.
One of my
all right. Charlie Chapman.
Chapman's last name.
For you.
He's he was on mission in, I believe it was Iraq, and RPG. They was flying over this mountain range, and there was a bunch of Taliban bunkers set up there, and they started firing at the helicopter. And one of the Rangers fell out of the helicopter whenever got hit by an RPG. So they made a landing to go recover his body, and this guy came out, and he fought hand to hand against multiple Taliban insurgents. I'm trying to tear up on it because it's actually kind of really sad. But him and all of his people came out.
Sounds badass.
Him and all his people came out, and he went up straight to where the guy fell out at, right? Tried to recover his body or recover him. They didn't know if he was alive or dead at the time. And he fell out. We went out. He got shot, I think it was 16 times. And he fought for, I think, an hour and a half before he finally went down. But anybody listening, please go and watch this video, because it will show you what people put on the line whenever they do sign up for this thing. Because a lot of people sit there and think, you know, oh, you're just signing up, you're just getting a paycheck, you're just trying to go to college, something like that. And it's so much more than that. Like, people are really putting everything they have. I mean, the dude had like a daughter. He had 2 daughters and a wife that he left behind, and please watch it. It's such a fucking
people,
shame.
Like, sign up for this thing for college or for whatever, and then wind up becoming that.
What do you mean by becoming that?
Well, like let's say like 18-year-old Joe. He's got no future.
Wait a minute.
Doesn't know what to do.
I have a question first. This is on this Chapman dude. I googled like his this is like a Wikipedia page, but it says he was from 1965 to March 4th of 2002. But they gave him to this in 20. Did they do this like way after he passed away?
Yeah, they gave it to him posthumously. They gave him 2 Medal of Honors, to be honest.
Okay, I saw it but they waited that long.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was confused on the date of his death and things like that.
That might be his point, is that we don't
recognize. Yeah, because it took.
Where the fuck is this guy's movie?
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Have you heard all that stuff around Chris Kyle and things like that? Some of that made it sound like he was kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, a little bit he was. Yeah, but he got murdered as a civilian in broad daylight.
Why am I just not hearing about this guy?
Because they just released the drone footage and they just gave him the Medal of Honor maybe like 2 years ago. If that.
What the fuck?
That's his point.
Is that
there's this enormous sacrifice made.
No, I mean, I get it
nobody-
now, but I'm
nobody knows about
so in awe. Like, there's like this, like that, like American Sniper is like a fucking brand name at this point.
Makes a good movie. I don't know.
But this dude, like, just doing fucking like Saving Private Ryan shit.
Yeah, I honestly hope that they never make a movie about him because.
No, I agree. You're right. You're right though. Don't.
They'll ruin it. They'll completely.
It fictionalized.
Yeah, 100%.
That's why you have a goddamn remembrancer.
Yeah,
singing goddamn war songs about this shit.
Like Lone Survivor or whatever that dude was, right?
That's that one where it's like a group of guys. Right?
Yeah, there's a group of guys. There was
over.
Murphy in there, and he died, and all like that. Like everybody did something in that, except for the guy who the movie was made about.
That's what the fuck.
I'm sorry, dude.
He just
if you're listening to this podcast, you didn't do shit. You ran away. I'm sorry.
He just got away to tell the story.
Yeah, that was it.
You know, I've always felt, and this is not trying to take anything away from anybody, but it's a lot of times when you talk about like war heroes and things like that, it's just people that kind of made it through. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because like that shit, that's fucking hero shit.
Yeah, he saved 23 people during that entire thing. He got shot 6 times, I believe. I may be fucking this up, but he got shot 6 times, and he fell out unconscious, and his platoon thought that he was dead, so they left. And then they call it AC-130. You know what AC-130 is?
I have no idea.
That's like a strike, like an airship.
It's a big ass airplane that has a lot of fucking guns on it, and they just rain down hill.
This is a poor fucking analogy, but that's like in the first Modern Warfare, right? Where you just shoot stuff from a big
AC-130. That's the AC-130.
I thought you were about to say something about your fiber shits.
Rains down fibrous shit.
But
that'll clean up the Middle East.
That kill streak you get on Call of Duty, that is an AC-130.
Okay.
Yes. So they call it AC-130 to start bombarding those bunkers that were up on top of the hill, and he was still there, still alive. He was unconscious, and they bombarded the entire area with him still there.
Oh fuck!
And that's what woke him up.
It woke him up.
It woke him up from being unconscious. He got up and saw there was a helicopter coming to try to rescue him. And they were firing on the helicopter, and he fought like 25 insurgents for, I think it was like 58 minutes.
Wait, he fell out and then did all that and went unconscious. And then he woke up and fought for another hour.
Yes.
So the helicopter could land.
So the helicopter could land.
Holy fucking shit, dude.
He left the bunker.
I cannot believe I'm just now hearing this. And this happened the year I graduated high school.
Yep. He left the bunker and started firing and he only dropped whenever a bullet hit him in the heart. That's whenever he dropped.
That's a bad motherfucker.
Let's write some comics about this guy.
But you haven't heard about it
now.
No, I haven't.
That's my point. And it was just until recently that they gave him his Medal of Honors because there's so much fucking work and the brass is so unwilling to recognize the sacrifice that the soldiers and other servicemen, it's 100% disgusting. It's 100% disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting because these are the people who are telling these people to go and do this stuff, who are supposed to be leading these people, and they're just using them as just meat bags.
Right. More bodies on the battlefield. And
absolutely. If one drops, they don't care.
Ugh.
It's absolutely disgusting, and that's why we have such a high suicide rate in veterans. That and also the fact that they just make us do things, and whenever we get out, they don't have any help. Like, I was under the impression whenever I went to the military and got out that I would have like health care and stuff like that,
right?
And insurance. Not true. You only have that if you retire from the military.
Damn. Fuck that.
So I literally got out of the military with nothing.
Do you even get access? Do you even get to go to like the VA hospital?
Only if I got out with disabilities.
So even now, after doing your time, you can't go to the VA hospital.
No, as far as I'm aware,
no benefit whatsoever to
zero.
Jesus,
I literally went for 6 years of my life, done all that stuff, put my life on the line, signed a contract that pretty much said that my life is not my own.
Right.
And got out at square one where I started whenever I left to try to get better myself.
Fucking shit. That is an injustice.
Be all you can fucking be. I mean, I know it's the Army.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I had a lot of good times. I saw places I would never see. I was in Australia. I was in Oman. I was in a lot of really cool places. I did a lot of things that some of them I don't remember. Some of them I choose not to remember. Some of them I think fondly of. But it's not worth it. If I could go back and not do it, I 100% would.
Right.
Like, would 100% not do it. The only thing that I got was a fucking free college tuition that I have to get out of the military and start a job so I don't have time to fucking go do that anyways.
Right.
I mean, thank you, United States government.
Right.
It's fucking awesome.
For this gift of nothing.
Yeah, for this gift that I can't use.
Fuck, I think I might clip the first 2 hours of this out. It's just such a sharp turn.
Jeez, this is getting dark. Fuck the military. Fuck them. Fuck them. I'm drunk.
It's terrible. It really is. It's super terrible. They run like a business, and that's the worst thing possible.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the things, and Trump said.
Yeah. There you go.
So anyway, we were talking about Jet Jaguar earlier.
No, he actually called it the military-industrial complex.
It's true. There is one.
And he actually called it for, the president called it for what it was.
Yes, I believe the first president did that was, I think it was Ronald Reagan.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I know that's not a comment. That I heard him do it, and I was like, holy shit. Like,
definitely.
This motherfucker...
I guarantee you a lot of general and assholes puckered up whenever he said that shit.
I kind of, I get the draw to the dude. I don't like the dude.
I don't either. He's stupid.
It's super not worth it, but I get the draw.
Yeah. I mean,
because sometimes he fucks up and says shit he ain't supposed to.
Listen, if he didn't have a Twitter, he would be on point. He would be. But the fact that he has a Twitter and an outlet to say whatever the fuck he wants to whenever he wants to, that's...
The fact that he says stuff he's not supposed to all the goddamn time.
Yeah, that's the
makes
biggest
it, when he's like, there is a military-industrial complex.
War makes money.
And there's but that kind of gets watched and you can grab women by their vaginas. You can just grab them. It's like...
Yeah, right.
It's like... hogging for catfish. You just stick your arm and just grab them by the
It's
pussy.
almost kind of like...
yank them right out. I'm president. I can do these things.
It's kind of like that Dave Chappelle thing about Bill Cosby where you got to rape a little bit for every single...
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't think that's the thing. I got to piss so bad.
Hurry up. I had to. But, you know how, whenever he said that, I actually got really excited. Because I was like, okay, we're going to bring that to light. Because,
yeah.
Because, I mean, Red River's not far from here.
Right.
Right? I mean, how many people do you think would have a job there if we weren't at war?
None.
Exactly.
There wouldn't be any reason, right?
Now, how many Red Rivers do you think there are in the country?
A bunch.
A lot.
A bunch.
A lot. Now, on top of that, how many Red Rivers are there? Now, how many Lockheed Martins are there? How many General Electrics are there? Shit whack.
Right.
War makes money.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It makes money. Someone has to make the bullets. Someone has to make the guns. Someone has to make...
Well, right now, ain't nobody making bullets. Don't you know that? You can't get none.
Oh, we can't get none, but the military exchange sure can.
That's what it is.
War is profitable. It is.
Oh, I totally agree. 100%.
The only problem is that that profit is on the backs of...
Children.
Yeah.
Children. Yeah, basically. Because if anyone makes it long enough where they're not children, they're usually probably running the show from a safe distance.
See, I also heard a statistic saying that most people who are in the Army or in the Marines are people who, the main reason why they join up is because of the simple fact that they want to kill somebody.
That they wanted to?
They want to. Legally be able to kill somebody.
I mean, I could see that for some people, I guess.
It's so fucked up, though. Kids, if you're listening...
There's a place for you.
You don't want... It's called jail.
It might be the Army. So you're not over here doing
No. Don't perpetuate the system.
If you're one of these shitty, psychopath types, there's a place for you. It's the Marines.
Go eat crowns. Yeah.
Go kill people.
I mean, yeah, sure.
For the right reasons.
Listen,
for America.
Yeah.
That's the right reasons.
Some things that need to happen. Soleimani, you remember when Soleimani was killed?
No.
Really?
I don't know who Soleimani is.
All right. Do you know who Soleimani is?
This is a bunch of metal bands in D&D.
All right, so Soleimani was the guy, that general that Trump issued the drone strike on. They did a drone strike in...
Okay, so this was recent.
Yes. They did a drone strike in the airport or whatever, killed Soleimani, and everyone was like, oh, you can't do that, blah, blah. Listen, Soleimani was a fucking terrorist. He's responsible 100% for the deaths of hundreds of U.S. servicemen. Kids. I mean, I honestly want to call them kids. Most of them are 18 to 19 years old. They're children.
They're kids.
They're children.
They can't even fucking drink.
That's another travesty. Listen, if there's any fucking...
How old are you?
I am 31.
20. He's 20.
Okay, that's fair.
He's 20.
Right.
He can't drink either.
If there are any...
You're growing at 30.
If there are any captains of fucking boats or anything like that over people who are overseas, listen, if there's an 18-year-old person and he's overseas, let him drink. If you want him to take a bullet for something, let him fucking drink.
I mean, you're in international
If you want him to take
waters,
a shot, let him take a shot.
You're in international waters.
Damn right. Shot for
goddamn.
shot.
There's no rules out there.
No, they are.
Movies have terribly misinformed me.
Yes, Sean Connery was not indeed a Russian submarine captain.
I was thinking about. I was thinking about down Periscope, but okay.
Yeah, honestly, down Periscope it might be the most accurate
The
submarine
most
movie.
accurate.
It might be the most accurate submarine movie there is. Honestly, I swear to God, if you ask any submarine veteran, they'll probably say down Periscope.
It's always that dumb bullshit that gets it closest, right? The stuff that's super dramatic.
Well, what else are you going to do? You're 150 people on a 300-foot fucking long tube in the middle of the ocean for 7 months.
Dramatic stuff that, like, you can't really have any fun with just what's really going on. You kind of just have to poke jokes at it, and then you can get closer to reality.
So, I'm very thankful that I went to submarines because, one, I don't take authority very well. I just don't. And so, like, on submarines, like, whenever I saw, like, a captain or an officer or something like that, I didn't have to go, like, good morning, sir. Good evening, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Blah, blah. I was like, what's up, Mr. Morrow? Blah, blah. Oh, didn't get a name drop there. Anyways.
Oh, you're going to hell.
Shit, they coming for you.
Listen, if Mr. Morrow heard this, he'd be like, fuck yeah.
Holy shit, you did it again.
Oh, my
Cut that
God.
shit. You gotta cut that.
God, no, we're connected to the internet. They're going to send a drone out here right now.
Oh, fuck. Are we?
Yeah. I'm always connected to your Wi-Fi.
Shit, we're almost 3 hours in.
We are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but we cut out, like, fucking
5-hour podcast.
2 hours of them.
It's basically cut out the first 2 hours.
I'm calling it 5 hour.
All right.
5-hour podcast.
Fuck it.
5-hour podcast.
Mega cast.
Why not? Alex Jones did 4.
I'm not Alex Jones. I don't think any of us are.
No. That's fucking wild.
I don't think you have to be that fucking insane to go 5 hours. I think you just talk about shit for 5 hours.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm cool.
Like, fuck, I'm drinking whiskey.
Drinking 5 hours.
I'm about to talk a lot.
Let's go. All right. You have any more questions about submarines?
Okay, so you would, like, go into port, just like any other ship, right?
Rarely, but yes.
So less often than, like,
whenever
USS blah, blah, blah.
Whenever we ran out of food, we go into port. So a
Did you get shore leave? Like, you got to run up and grab puss, or?
No.